Hi, it's Colin here, and I thought I would take some time out of clinic to answer a question that I get asked an awful lot in practice, and that is, when should I use heat and when should I use ice? And the honest answer is, it depends on what the cause of the issue is. Heat is everybody's go-to. It's a much more pleasant thought to use a hot water bottle or go and lie in a hot bath than it is to put a bag of ice on you. But in reality, heat can either be a really good way of relaxing muscles off, or it can make things an awful lot worse. And so knowing when to use the two is really useful. So I thought I would try and make that a little bit clearer for you. But before we do that, we kind of need to understand what's going on in the body to need the heat or the ice in the first place. And so I thought we would just summarize the basics of what is going on for most of my patients when they come into the clinic. For most people, we will have a joint that is not functioning properly or dysfunctioning. Now, whether that joint is just not moving very well or whether that joint is inflamed, the end result for the body is, I need to protect that. And the only way the body can protect that is to tighten muscles up around that joint to limit movement. Now, if somebody has just some achiness and some stiffness, the chances are that joint isn't inflamed, but the muscles are tight around it. If that complaint is spasming muscles and very sharp twinges if you move too far or the wrong way or too quickly, then the chances are there is some inflammation in there. Now, the reason that this is all important is because heat is fantastic at relaxing tight muscles. The problem is, with the way that the body works, there's always going to be some tight muscles. But if we've got some inflammation underneath, inflamed joints or inflamed tissues are already hot. So if we add heat, it's going to make them even worse, because it's going to make them hotter. And that's when we would need to use ice. So a classic example is lower back pain with sharp twinges, and the first thing somebody thinks is, right, okay, I'm going to go and lie in a hot bath. And they lie in the hot bath and they feel an awful lot better as a result. Now, what's happening there is you're lying in water, so there's no gravitational pull on these muscles, or limited. You're not really moving. The heat is relaxing the muscles off, so the achiness and stiffness that you've been feeling all day has gone. Because you're not moving the inflamed joint, and therefore it's not causing you that sharp pain. And that sounds great, but the problem is, you've heated up a joint that's already hot, so as soon as you start moving it, it's going to hurt even more. And you've removed the tension of the muscles around it, which was protecting you from over moving that joint. So as soon as you get up and try and step out of the bath, then usually, bang, everything spasms up again and you get that sharp twinge and everything's worse than it was before. So that's when you would use ice. So ice is there really to counter the heat in an inflamed tissue. So whether that's a pulled muscle or whether that's a inflamed joint, what we want to try and do is remove the heat from that area. If we remove the heat, we remove a lot of the sharp pain. We don't want to overdo it for two reasons. Ice can give you burns if you put ice on too much, so always wrap whatever form of ice, whether it's a gel pack or whether it's just a bag of ice, always wrap that in a towel, just a thin towel, just so that it's not directly on the skin. And we also don't want to overdo it in terms of time frame, for the same reason. So maximum 15 minutes on, 45 off, 15 on, 45 off. I tend to find if you can only do it once or twice in a day, it's not really going to do a great deal. If you can do it 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a day, on the hour, every hour, then you start to get a cumulative effect. But the other reason why we don't want to overdo it is because inflammation is part of the healing process. So what we don't want to do is take all of the inflammation away, because otherwise the body won't be able to heal, or certainly the healing process will be slowed down. But we want to keep it in check and under control so that it's not causing too much discomfort. So in summary of all of that, heat, if you're just feeling achiness and stiffness and it feels quite muscular, then heat is your thing. If you're getting any sharp pain or stabbing pain, I would start with ice. Now again, just to quickly reiterate, if you're using ice, wrap it in a towel, don't put it directly on the skin. I don't want you getting frostbite. 15 minutes on, 45 off, 15 on, 45 off, on the hour, every hour. Heat, again, you don't want to go overboard, you don't want to have it on for too long. You can, again, burn yourself if you've got a hot water bottle directly on your skin, so use the cover on the hot water bottle, or put a t-shirt or a blouse in between the hot water bottle and your skin. Hopefully that gives you more of an idea of when you would use heat and when you would use ice. But of course, listen to your chiropractor and use their guidance. And if you are worried about anything, then of course you can always contact me and I can run through it again. Cheers.